Okay, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Let's get that audio on your sound. I think we are good. Everything looks good. Microphone is on. A couple of you have already shown up. Hey, Nick.
Brown. Show.
Hello, Nick. How's it going, buddy? So good to see you here. You might notice the guys outside working in the backyard. Boy, they got a big job ahead of them. Cleaning up this damn yard. They've already got the tree off of the water feature, which is great because it may have it something happened to that water feature. There's a water leak somewhere. And we're gonna have to try to figure it out.
Appearney. Hey, nay.
I've got a tree in the front yard that fell over, and we're trying to fix it. It's a bottle brush tree. It's a real pretty tree. It looks like a mushroom with red flowers that hang off of it all the way around. Giant tree, not just a plant. And I brought my truck out there and put my winch around it and pulled it up straight, but if I let go, it'll fall back down. So we need to stake it up. My mom's old gardener saw me out there and said he's got some staking and some cables and he's going to go get them and bring them. But, he always says that. He always says, I've got this, I've got that. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to bring it right back. And then he never shows up again. So I'm not holding my breath. What I'm thinking I'm going to do.
9757. What's up, nay?
Celsians coming to you from the permissionless floor right here. You see we have visitors here from the future. And yesterday, if you didn't pay attention, 100 people on Wall Street got arrested or whatever. Their phones got taken. They got some.
What's the date of this? Well, this is so weird. When was that posted?
All right, Celsians coming to you
That's
from.
stupid. Whatever. Nick, Lisa, Gamer. What's up, guys? It's a little warm. I'm drinking some of the best coffee. It tastes so perfect. Turn on my fan here for a second. Show you both cameras here. See the guy out there working. Eventually thinking, oh, is that the same? It's the same camera, right? Oh, there, you see him now. Okay, let me get the other camera up. One.
Hello. Hi, nay.
There we go. Cool. Too bright outside.
9757.
There we go.
Today's my off day, so I'm drinking an IPA.
Right on, Gamer. Hey, Gwen. Great. Hey, freaking Oracle.
Good day, sir. Working audio only.
Oh, I wonder why that is. I wonder what's going on. Is that on your end, bro? No one else has said that. Except for you. My end. Oh, okay.
Oracle show. My end.
So I've got this tree out in the yard, and I'm thinking I need to take a piece of wood to brace it up with. But if I could get, let me go talk to my lawn guy really fast.
Earl Goldstein. You're looking good, you're no longer a fat slob. I haven't watched you since like 2011.
I just told my lawn guy I've seen blunts that were rolled stronger than the light pole outside. I was thinking about tying the tree to the light pole to keep no longer a fat slob. I haven't watched you since 2011, Earl Goldstein. Yeah, you could be in your 50s and you can lose weight and look a little better. There's no reason why you don't, why should I die of obesity? That's what I like to say. Why die of obesity if you don't have to, right? Cut the sugar, start doing push-ups in the morning, do these on a chair, man, these right here. These little exercises, and bring the legs up, do the stomach exercises, do them both simultaneously. That's how I did it. That's how I lost so much weight. I don't have a gymnasium. I just do push-ups and do those chair exercises. But Earl, it's nice to be get that recognition, man. I really appreciate it. So I'm thinking I got the cherry pie to smoke. The cherry pie that you smoke and stuff.
Sea fishing. Is that your long guys? They schedule for today?
Well, they came
Good
out
timing.
to do hurricane cleanup for us.
Asquarello. Cheers.
Ice, are you in the Discord, bro? I guess not. No law regarding cannabis. Oh, am I out of this? I'm out of the
Fishing.
I'm out of the Discord.
Oh, nice of them.
Okay. There he is.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. What a mess.
Nick Brown. Don't have my headset. Forgot to grab it this morning.
My mom doesn't know that the yard guys are here. She's going to be so happy to see them cleaning it up. Okay. Ruble to rubble. What's this all about? I don't know what this is. British pound. 25.
Dave Sea
Russian
Fishing.
ruble.
My
Number
neighbor
one.
2 doors down did clean up for my neighbor at work.
Dude, the ruble is kicking the shit out of everything. Where's the American dollar? Where's the US dollar at? It's not on this list. The Canadian dollar's on here, but the United States dollar isn't. But even though, I mean, it's similar, so God, the ruble is just kicking ass. It's all working exactly as they planned. Don't! Many roads, one destination. Who are you? Why aren't I following you? Blocked by Nina Jankowicz. To leave people in the dark. Yeah, they sent the hurricane there. You know, how dare you leave Puerto Ricans in the dark after a hurricane goes through there? America, you're not taking care of your infrastructure or your people. Hey man, can you wait? Can you wait for the planes to land and the boats to get there? You know, we don't have a fucking highway to Puerto Rico, bro. Calm your fucking tits. God. You know, I'm sure help is on the way. You know, after all, Donald Trump's not the moron behind the wheel this time. It's actually a president that gives a fuck about, somewhat more of people than Donald Trump did. So I'm sure he's sent money. And I'm sure National Guard and resources are all on the way, you know? I wonder what the power situation is in Puerto Rico. How many people are without power?
Hybrid. According to research, Russia attacked Ukraine due to high-level terrorist activity against the Russian Federation, just like we attacked terrorists after September 11th. I find it hard to trust Zelensky.
Hybrid, that's well said. You know, you're obviously well read and you know what you're talking about. And I appreciate you. Yeah, I totally agree with you too. You know, there were no mysteries about what was going on over there. You know, if you want to pretend like your shit don't stink, you want to play that whole imperialism game, we can't help you. You know, we can't help you.
Thank you, Nay.
You know, if you look at the facts and you look and see and you listen to what Putin said and you go back and you check the history and you find out that everything he said happened, then there's really no denying why he did what he did. He's a fucking monster. He's a terrorist. So we're just fucking idiots for thinking he wasn't going to do that shit, you know? He enjoys killing people, man. He enjoys watching people suffer. It was his job.
Rock all day.
You know? It used to be his job.
Afternoon,
I'm sure he's
sir.
tortured plenty of people. I wouldn't be surprised if he requests personal sessions to this day, you know? One thing's for sure, man. When you see the video of Putin and the other regions, the heads of those regions all joining hands and celebrating, they are joining the Soviet Union, it doesn't look like these guys are getting forced into anything, you know? It looks like there's a lot of relief on their faces. But I'll withhold, you know, as much judgment as I can until more information comes out of the region because we're so starved for accurate reporting, you know. Who knows what the truth is. Oh, throw that bitch back in the socket. You guys want to see it? Here it is. I mean, video like this has got to suck for America to see this shit. I mean, every single thing that every single motherfucker in this country has been pushing for the last 5-6 months, it all just went to shit as soon as this handshake happened. Those countries just became Russia, and that made it official. Does that look like somebody that's running, cutting and running? Does that look like somebody who lost a war? Hey man, this is what little video they give us. This is all I got to go on. But, you know, that's what's happening. You could say that's CGI
Cannabis
or whatever.
yields. Wow, when did that happen?
A few hours ago, I'm sure. You know, we don't get a lot of information out of Russia, so we don't really know because of companies like Twitter and Facebook subvert the news. So we don't know what's going on over there accurately, really. You know, we have to kind of rely on secondhand and unreliable sources or you know, sources that may be, you know, just dripping with narrative.
Fogel.
Froggy.
I read that they haven't fully occupied those parts yet and hence are still uncontested.
Their leaders didn't seem to have a problem with it. But, you know, you read into it whatever you
Fogel.
want. The point is,
know.
Russia now gets to play defense. All they have to do is just keep occupying that territory, move more Russians into that territory, build up armaments on that territory. They don't have to attack into it anymore. So their game just got, well, they fucking won. You know, Russia already won the fucking war. You know, whatever happens now happens after that war, the Ukraine-Russia war, which just ended. Yeah, that war, now whatever happens now is a new thing.
If Zelensky was
it's going to be the
like
war
Putin,
on Russia, you know, by NATO attacking Russia. But it changes the whole dynamic, doesn't it? That's Russian land now. It's crazy, right? He'd honor cooperation instead of being... Well, we all should have just listened. We all should have sat down and talked. You know, and America should have never funded the bombing of ethnic Russians in Ukraine. Yeah, I don't know how many times I have to fucking say that. Hey. Are you on the phone?
No, let me call him. I'll call him now. All right. All right.
A second, man. Okay. Anyway, is that Joel Froggy?
Hybrid.
Right there.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. No law regarding cannabis. Man, some of those rings had a nice spin to them. It's pretty cool.
Big Merc 83. Sup fam.
Merkmeister. So, I'd like to get more news on what's going on over there in Russia. Kremlin says any attack on annexed territory will be an attack on Russia. Didn't I just tell you that? It becomes Russia now. Now, you attack those countries, they're now part of Russia. Russia can now respond and act like you're attacking their homeland, bro. So, here we go, man. Here we go.
Прошлого не вернуть. Да и России сегодня это уже и не нужно. Герои Великой России, да и другие страны. и при этом цинично называют их равноправными союзниками. Послушайте, интересно, что это за союзничество такое? Ну, весь мир же знает, что за руководителями этих стран следят. Первым лицам этих государств устанавливают подслушивающие устройства не только в служебных, но и в жилых помещениях.
But there's nothing stronger than the decisive will of millions of people who, according to their culture, to their language, believe to be part of Russia. For generations, they lived in a single country, and there's nothing stronger than the will of these people to come back to their historic roots.
Историческое отечество. Диктат США строится на грубой силе, на кулачном праве. Бывает красиво обернуто, бывает без всякой обертки, но суть одна и та же – кулачное право.
You guys understand? These are the leaders of those four sections of the former Ukraine guys. Understand that that's who those four guys are. You saw that, right?
54. Cheers, nay.
You saw what it
Big
said
Merc
right
83. Sounds evil.
Putin was then joined by Russian-appointed separatist leaders from the four Ukrainian regions for a signing ceremony that many experts believe will only escalate the war. Wow.
Christoph 54. Hello, Bati.
I mean, should they not have been appointed by Russia? It's Russia now, right? Makes sense, doesn't it? They tried to make that seem like a bad thing. Wow, man. I tell you what, it doesn't look like a man at war that's losing a battle that's cutting and running to me. It looks like he's got everything, all the cards. It's like he's holding all the cards, you know? It sounds evil. Well, you know, it's Russia.
Cannabis heals. Yet more killing. Christoph 54.
Hear what CNN reporter noticed about crowd watching Putin's speech.
Ago in Moscow,
okay. Let's hear what
Vladimir
CNN's
Putin
little sandbox mudslinging is going to be on Putin. I love it.
Viewers again illegally. It's a move that world leaders say will not be acknowledged.
I want the Kiev authorities and the real masters in the West to hear me and remember those people who live in these four regions are becoming our citizens forever.
Sounds pretty official to me, CNN. I don't know.
Christoph 54. Nay
We are calling
on
on
bone journey
the
big
Kiev
force my
regime
friend.
to immediately cease fire and all military actions and the war they started back in 2014 and return to the negotiation table. We are prepared to this, but the choice of the people in the four provinces we are not going to discuss. Russia is not going to betray it.
Joining me now is CNN senior international correspondent Matthew Chance and CNN senior security editor Nick Payton Walsh. Matthew, you're here with me on set. So this was anticipated What's interesting is that we had seen that rapid speed counteroffensive by the Ukrainians to avoid just this earlier this month. All of that having been said, Vladimir Putin doubles down and follows up on this annexation. What happens next?
Listen to her voice.
It's probably because of that rapid
Vocal
advance
fry.
by Ukrainian forces on the ground, which
Natural
I think Nick's
vocal
going to
fry.
talk to you about in a minute, that Vladimir Putin has brought forward these referenda in these 4 regions of Ukraine to really kind of send a powerful message, both to his domestic audience in Russia and to international observers as well.
No, he's not. He's not sending a message. He took those regions, okay? That's what he did. He's not sending a message. He did the thing, you fucking idiot, and you're a liar. This guy right here is a brainless idiot. That's why you can't see the top of his head. There's no brain there.
That he is going to do this. He's determined to do it, despite the fact that he doesn't control vast areas of territory that is about to annex. I mean, he's now made this speech in Moscow, which is the first step in not the first step, but one of the next step in formally annexing these territories. He said there are now 4.
No. He got it wrong. He got the first step wrong. Did you hear what he said the first step was of annexing? Did you hear this? Look, listen to this one more time.
Fact that he doesn't control vast areas of territory that is about to annex. I mean, he's now made this speech in Moscow, which is the first step in 4.
Really? Making a speech in Moscow was the first step in, I would say making the first step in annexing those 4 countries, those 4 regions, was Vladimir Putin taking the forces of Russia and aligning them on the border of Ukraine. You remember when he did that? That was the first step, you idiot. He physically said, I'm taking these regions back. That's what happened. He didn't say, this is the first step, is what he's decided to sign. And he's announced it and made it official. And, this is how he's going to go about. No, he went in there and took that shit, you little fucking bitch. And you don't get to rewrite history. We all know what happened. Okay, you could try to paint any kind of a little picture, a little watercolor image and put that out on CNN all day long. But we all know that Vladimir Putin went in there with his army and took that shit. That was step number 1. This is fucking hilarious.
One the first step, but one of the next step in formally annexing these territories. He said there are now 4 new regions of Russia. He also called on Kiev, on the authorities in Ukraine, to come back to the negotiating table. But he made it clear that even though Russia was looking for a peace deal, these regions would not be up for negotiation. He said that...
Boom! Oh, fuck! Dude, he called, right? And fucking America and Ukraine fucking blew their shit. And Vladimir Putin just went like this on the table and took all the chips. And now he's got everything. He's got everything. And look at the worry. Look at the worry on the little fucking CNN fucking soldier's face. Look at the despair and the fraught. I'm fraught with emotion over this. I don't know.
These people,
how shall I report this to them?
Be in Russia forever. I'm slightly paraphrasing it here, but he has drawn Russia's red line. Of course, what we also know is that Vladimir Putin has declared openly that he will defend these territories as if they are part of Mother Russia, with the nuclear weapons that he's got, if he deems it to be necessary.
So
and Nick,
understand what that means, okay? If somebody comes in there and tries to invade Russia now, what he will now draw as the new border of Russia, he's not going to nuke the edge of Russia. He's going to nuke whatever fucking country tries to come in to invade Russia. No matter who it is or where they are in the world, he's going to send nukes there. So this moron on CNN the other day, it's like, well, the first problem is the wind blows from Ukraine into Russia if he wants to set off a nuke. He might just nuke the goddamn UK, motherfucker. Did you ever think about that? Which way's the wind blow from there?
bring you in to talk about the counteroffensive that continues
No law
to
regarding
play out there
cannabis,
on the
everybody.
part of the
It's quarter of the hour, and I
Ukrainians.
think we
have
all need a
Vladimir
bong
Putin
rip at this
lying to
point
the
in our
public,
lives.
lying to the
Cheers.
world, saying that this is now part of Mother Russia. President Zelensky had said since day one, if this happens, if there's a referendum, if there's an annexation, there is no turning back. He is not going to the negotiation table. So what happens next in terms of any possible talks between these two sides?
I think that prospect is pretty remote, and this seems to be the Kremlin's big play here, judging from the main takeaway from a speech that was predominantly a revisionist history, again painting Russia as a victim from Western imperialism, essentially accusing the West of exactly what Russia's doing here. He's essentially...
He had it until he reversed it. Did you catch that? Let's go back to that. 3:30.
Essentially saying, let's have a universe. Russia as a victim from Western imperialism, essentially accusing Russia as a victim from Western imperialism.
Yard looks like nothing happened.
Russia as a victim from Western
Dave C.
imperialism. Again, painting
Did
Russia
they
as
say
a victim
anything about the
from
trees?
Western imperialism. Essentially, Russia as a victim from Western imperialism. Essentially, Russia as a victim from Western imperialism. Essentially, Russia as a victim from Western imperialism. Essentially.
Remember what I said, nay, this all end in dust, everything will be destroyed.
Yeah. Whatever. America better just learn to sit the fuck down. You know? You better learn you can't win every fucking battle. That's all. Did you guys hear what he's saying? Stop talking for 1 second and listen to what I'm trying to get out there. Listen to this.
Accusing the West of exactly painting Russia as a victim from Western imperialism, essentially a victim from Western imperialism, as a victim from Western, again painting Russia as a victim, painting Russia as a victim from Western, victim from Western, painting Russia as a victim from Western imperialism, essentially.
Russia is a victim from Western imperialism. You know, he stumbles when he says it because, you know, these guys have to be careful of the way they word their shit. And he realized, oops, I just said the words. Well, okay, well, let's go into it. How is it possible for America to be a victim for Russia to be a victim of American imperialism? So you guys, let's just walk through it really fast. How could Russia be a victim of American imperialism? That's what he just said that Vladimir Putin paints a picture of. Now, wouldn't you need some facts to back up a statement like that? What transpired over the last few years that would give Vladimir Putin the ability to make a statement like that? And then I wonder if this cuck bitch right here wants to go through the history of what transpired in that region.
When they realize the final script, it will reveal Russia's victory. Even blessed.
Yeah, I want America to be on the right side of history. And when I was a younger person, I used to imagine that I used to play with these little army guys and shit, you know? I had a Captain America, played with Batman and all that shit. And I used to, in my mind, and I'm sure some of you still do, but I used to when I was a child, I used to imagine that America were heroes and that we were always doing the right thing. And that we didn't do bad things around the world, and that if bad things happened while we were trying to spread democracy, well, then that's just how it works sometimes, and people fight so hard against it that there's going to be some people that get killed along the way. But, you know, it's important that women aren't forced to wear headscarves in Iran, and that we have to send women over there not wearing headscarves and start a whole movement and get people killed. Isn't it? Your world is an imperfect place. You don't have to have a position on anything, you know? Or you can have a position on everything, and they can all be completely independent of each other and have nothing to do with each other. You know, you can just look at a situation and try to say, these are the facts of what happened there. Whether or not I consider myself an American citizen and I live in America and that I've benefited from all of the benefits of being an American my entire life, isn't going to stop me from looking at what I know to be the truth.
Christoph 54. Cheers, hybrid.
But it's amazing how many people in the world, it doesn't matter what their allegiances are willing to not look at real truths, you know? And it's all over the place. It's everywhere. It doesn't matter whether you're talking politics or sports, you know? People have blind spots. You might have one too. You know, hopefully you'll watch this show to not have blind spots anymore. You know, hopefully you come here. This guy looks like
Hybrid.
Keaton.
Cheers, greetings, Christoph.
Looks like Keaton
54.
when he's looking down his eyebrows up like that.
Christoph 54. Ne je fume de la gorilla globoom. Christoph 54. Hybrid great.
So I want to hear what the CNN reporter noticed about the crowd watching Putin's speech.
Accusing the West of exactly what Russia's doing here. He's essentially saying, let's have a unilateral ceasefire here. Let's stop fighting. Let's go to the negotiating table. Now, it's fair to say that in the past, Russia has used diplomacy as a time for a military pause, to regroup, or to continue to pursue its military objectives. And that's why Washington, the EU, and Kiev have pretty firmly rejected Russian diplomacy as something that doesn't engage with in earnest. But it seems to be holding that out here with the background threat, as you just heard, of possible nuclear force. Something that, of course, everyone should treat as remote in the last.
Margie Getrell. Hello, how are you doing today?
They're doing fine, thank you.
Margie Getrell. How are your PS doing today?
Christoph, you're welcome. Thank you for speaking to me in English, because that's the only language I understand. I want to see what this reporter noticed about the crowd.
Horrifying idea, but in the background during all of this, I have to say, looking at the crowd during some of that speech, there weren't that many convinced faces,
Christoph
because they know
54.
that on the ground here in Ukraine, as Russia and
I got it. I heard it. You don't have to keep listening to it. I heard it. You hear what he said there? So that's their spin. You know, that's their narrative. There weren't a lot of convinced faces in the audience that were listening to Vladimir Putin. I've got some news for him around Russians in general. What I know about Russians in general is from, you know, just seeing them and understanding them, they don't really wear their hearts on their sleeves so much in Russia. You know, I don't know if this, you know, stiff upper lip Englishman, you know, ever caught that about the Russians, but they're a pretty stoic bunch. So this is literally the angle that CNN felt it should be the headline of the article, where it literally says, look, top left, guys, hear what CNN reporter noticed about crowd watching Putin's speech. Well, I noticed they looked like a bunch of stoic Russians. You know, they didn't appear to be very convinced with what Vladimir Putin was saying, because they all seemed to be having, you know, some sort of a Russian poker face that I'm not quite familiar with. So, what I think y'all should listen to this guy say this one more time, because this is the point of the article we just got to. I haven't heard this yet, and I just love it, because this is such a weak spin, you know?
Holding that out here with the background threat, as you just heard, of
it's
possible
such a weak
nuclear
spin.
force, something that, of course, everyone should treat as remote in the last horrifying idea, but in the background during all of this. I have to say, looking at the crowd during some of that speech, there weren't that many convinced faces, because they know that on the ground here in Ukraine, as Russia announces these new areas of its territory,
parts of that which Ukraine controls is growing hour by hour. Now, importantly, in Luhansk, one of the 4 regions, which they've just said is part of Russia, they are on the verge of seeing a key town, a railway hub called Lyman, which has possibly thousands of some of Russia's best troops in it. That seems to be encircled, almost, or close to being encircled, by a rapid and very methodical Ukrainian advance that we've seen how it's burst through the countryside here over the past weeks. It's continuing to do that in other areas around Luhansk. And so the notion suddenly that these areas are now just an indisputable part of Russia legally is, of course, absurd, but it's also practically on the ground being dismantled slowly hour by hour. And there are some seeing this potential encirclement around Liman as the possibility for yet another Russian collapse. Like we saw around the second city of Kharkiv just weeks ago, supply lines were hit, the Russian army ran. That's not impossible here. And so Putin is giving us this extraordinary vision of a Russia under threat that now is declaring its territory expanded to protect citizens that it considers it has the right to offer protection to. But at the same time, its conventional forces have been failing here for weeks. Its partial mobilization has succeeded in sending over 200,000 Russians out of Russia to avoid it. But we haven't seen tens of thousands of properly equipped troops here at all to alter the dynamics on the battlefield. And so we're in this dangerous moment where Russia seems to have played its card, said these are now parts of Russia, do not touch them, or we reserve the right to do anything to defend them. It's called internationally, perhaps now, for more diplomacy, but that looks likely to be rejected. And we're now left in the, well, what else? Moment where Ukraine continues to go forwards because Russia doesn't seem to have conventional forces here that change things.
Matthew.
Because the last I saw, you could just Google how much territory Russia holds. Let's do that. What would be called? So we can get maybe a map of what Russia just took. And, this is just a small example. Right? So there's a look, and while you're listening to this guy on the left tell you that Russia has all but lost this war completely, how do you explain this map up here? I mean, if they don't control those areas, then wipe them off the map, and show us what they do control. But it kind of looks like they control all of it. To me. Let's see what the response is.
If you're looking at that room, it looks anything but celebratory in terms of those officials who Vladimir Putin is a...
Really? It didn't look celebratory. Okay, I'm just kind of curious. Where was the part where they joined hands? Yeah, for Russia? Yeah, for Russia, I'd say that's pretty celebratory, man. Like I said, don't these people know Russians, man? Don't they understand Russians at all?
4 regions, which they've just said is part of Russia, they are on the verge of seeing a key town, a railway hub called Lyman, which has possibly thousands of some of Russia's best troops in it. That seems to be encircled, almost as possibly thousands, and which has possibly thousands, as possibly thousands, as possibly thousands.
Hey, did you hear that? Hey, did you hear that? There's possibly thousands of Russian troops. There's possibly.
Christoph 54.
Possibly.
Excellent.
Did you hear that? That's reporting. This motherfucker said possibly. He threw it in there, and I got to tell you guys, the first time I heard him speaking,
Christoph 54.
I didn't catch him say the word possibly.
LOL. Hybrid. Nearly 60,000 Russian troops gave their lives for those land regions.
I didn't hear him say the word possibly. And we go back, and then you realize the whole thing is based on him saying possibly, you know, hey, dude, possibly I have an 18-inch penis. Possibly, you know?
Luhansk, one of the 4 regions, which they've just said is part of Russia, they are on the verge of seeing a key town, a railway hub called Lyman, which has possibly thousands of some of Russia's best troops in it. That seems to be encircled, almost, or close to being encircled, by a rapid and very methodical Ukrainian advance that we've seen how...
So there's possibly
Stella
thousands,
Lewis.
and it could be close to possibly
54.
being encircled.
Okay, hybrid.
Hi, Stella.
It's burst through the countryside here over the past weeks. It's continuing to do that in other areas around Luhansk. And so the notion suddenly that these areas are now just an indisputable part of Russia legally is, of course, absurd, but it's also practical.
Dude. The guy just smirked next to him when he said
60,000 souls.
Almost as if they don't believe their own crap.
Long life the law puissance.
Look at the smile. Watch this smile when he says this.
It's absurd, but it's also practically on the ground being...
Look, now he's like, oh, I'm laughing about how stupid this all is. I better look down.
Dismantled slowly hour by hour.
Up, the towel. Wiped his head, bro. There was the towel, man. Mr. Serious Face, you know. That's that guy, man. You did the full fucking look down, hand swipe to the head maneuver, bro.
Slowly
Can we watch that, please? Here's the tail right there. Boom. Oh, touch the head. Why are you touching your head? About touching your head. You're touching your head. You're touching your head. You're touching your head. Is dandruff a problem? Well, if dandruff is a problem for you, you could benefit from Head and Shoulders. That's right. Don't scratch repeatedly. You don't have to do that.
There are some...
Mr. Telltale tells all. Mr. Telltale tells all. Look at you telling stuff with your big tell. All right, I'm smoking this cannabis. We call it cannabis, Christoph. No law regarding cannabis, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Iceman. Cheers.
Hybrid. Cheers. Christoph 54. Health Nays.
Seeing this potential encirclement around Liman as the possibility for yet another Russian collapse. Like we saw around the second city of Kharkiv just weeks ago, supply lines were hit, the Russian army ran. That's not impossible here. And so Putin is giving us this extraordinary vision of a Russia under threat that now is declaring its territory expanded to protect citizens that it considers it has the right to offer protection to. But at the same time, its conventional forces have been failing here for weeks. Its partial mobilization has succeeded in sending over 200,000 Russians out of Russia to avoid it. But we haven't seen tens of thousands of properly equipped troops here at all to alter the dynamics on the battlefield. And so we're in this dangerous moment where Russia seems to have played its cards, said these are now parts of Russia, do not touch them, or we reserve the right to do anything to defend them. It's called internationally, perhaps now, for more diplomacy, but that looks likely to be rejected. And we're now left in the, well, what else? Moment where Ukraine continues to go forwards because Russia doesn't seem to have conventional forces here that change things.
Matthew, looking at that.
I'm right here. What's up? It's in the front yard. It's in the front yard.
Christoph 54.
So imagine Vladimir Putin pulled all of his troops back, you know, right? Said, this is all our region. Okay, so
Christoph 54. Putin Grand Homme.
I can't bring my mouse over there. Maybe over here. No. No, where is it? Yeah. That's weird. Okay, I lost the map of it, man. Son of a bitch. Okay, there it is. All right? Okay. So, okay, hold on. It's going to get smaller here, or... Oh, there we go. Okay, so right over here. Look at this. Great. Oh, great. Look at this. Look what we can do. Okay, so Putin took all of this, right, from this line, and now all this line becomes Russia, right? So he takes all of his troops and he starts pulling them back in. He lets some of them go home, and he starts refreshing them, and he starts recruiting a whole bunch of new people, right? And they now start training people to defend this border. And this is what they're going to start doing. We're going to make sure that if we have any encroachment or whatever, we're going to keep everybody out. And this is what we're going to do now. It's no longer going into those regions and battling for them. They're his now. If he catches people in there, whatever, he's gonna kill them, right? So it doesn't make sense to all of you that he's doing exactly what he's doing. You pull them all back. If that's a border and you pull all your people back and you tell them don't come in and they come in, and he has the ability to send missiles in there, you know, to keep them at bay and keep his people back. Maybe that's all. I don't know. I'm not a fucking military expert. I'm just looking at the basic, you know, the region and thinking, you know, would you have kept all your troops in there just fucking until they're just all completely exhausted? Or would you pull them out now, and now that you're claiming it's yours and saying, okay, man, we won. It's ours. We did it. Congratulations. Now just make sure, congratulations. Now just keep it. You know, it's a whole different mindset for all of Russia that he's created for them just by making that. It no longer is red. Now that's Russia, you know? The whole border of Ukraine just shrunk by 15%. I wonder how many people are going to be trying to leave those areas, you know, or, you know, how many Russians are interested in moving into them and expanding that region. 80% of Russians support Vladimir Putin at last polling. That was about a month ago. So, like I said before in this broadcast, and I'll say it again, we have to wait, you know, and see what happens, you know, what kind of news comes out of Russia, you know. There's a lot of forces at work, man. If I had to guess, I would say Vladimir Putin just won the fucking war. He took the land. It's his now. He claimed it. It's mine. He put his flag in the soil, you know? And until that's, you know, claiming it's disputed, right? It's going to be disputed on the battlefield, I guess, right?
Sean aka Trendy Orca. No sudden moves anybody involved in this conflict.
I wonder when Google's going to recognize that that's Russia now. You know, you're like, Google, show me a map of Russia. And it's going to include those 4 fucking regions. Dude, when's that going to happen? I'm going to tweet that shit. That's a good tweet that no one's going to see. Man, I want to know who's going to fucking investigate what happened to that goddamn pipeline. You know? Russia calls for objective investigation into Nord Stream. Nord Stream leaks under investigation. Sweden reports 4th Nord Stream pipeline leak 14 hours ago.
Sweden has discovered a new...
Moscow calls for objective investigation. Huh. Why is Russia the only one calling for an investigation of who destroyed the pipeline? Isn't it funny that Russia's the only one that's calling for an investigation? Hey, Russia, go send your investigators out there. I'll listen to them. Tell us what you fucking find. No one's better equipped to go investigate that fucking thing than you are. So you go do it and let us know.
Stella Lewis. Lunch over. Gotta run. Have a good rest of the show, Nay.
Okay. Swedish security service opens inquiry into Nord Stream 2 days ago. Kremlin says Nord Stream incidents look like state-sponsored terrorism. Oh, so some scuba divers went down there with some fucking C4 and blew those pipelines. That's how they did it. They didn't hit it with a submarine, guys. Somebody went out there with frogmen in a boat. That's what they did. That's that there were no submarines out there. Some dudes went down there with either that or they dropped depth charges on that motherfucker. Oh my God, dude. Dude. They could have blasted some depth charges down there, bro. I want to see pictures of the damage.
Cannabis Heels. There was a boat 30 miles away.
Yeah, dude, and they'll just take a John boat, bro. From the boat, you know? Frogmen just they'll take little goddamn scooters, bro. They got fucking scooters, bro. They got battery, are you kidding me? They got battery powered fucking underwater fucking tubes fans, bro. And they'll fucking go underwater and ride those things over there, drop a charge on that motherfucker, and shit, bro. They could have had a fucking dolphin do that shit with a magnetic fucking setup. They could have easily had a dolphin
Cannabis
swim over there and
Heels.
do that shit.
Yeah, the seals have all kinds of shit.
They got dolphins, bro. They got fucking dolphins, bro. The seals got dolphins, bro. Hey, I saw otters today. I got them on video. Mom! I'll be right back.
Dave Sea Fishing. What? Show us the video. Dave Sea Fishing. Was it a little family swimming by?
Why are you asking me what you're asking me? I pulled your tree up with my winch, and Davey had said he was going to spike it up for me, and I think he's on meth again. But I don't think he's going to actually spike it up. But if he does, what? No. Not that I saw. Flava Flav got problems of his own, Sean. Flava Flav got problems of his own. Bum 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 ba bum ba dun 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 dun. Focus. Focus. Why won't it focus? I don't know why it
Christoph 54. Oh boy, cool. Cannabis Heels. Wow, that's cool. Christoph 54. Lutri.
Two of them, right? And they're all loving on each other and they're floating down. They got this slide. They go down this water slide. So this is a video. Okay, here, watch this. See, yeah, that's cute, right? So I got a bunch of stuff here. Hold on.
Christoph 54. I love you. Cannabis Heels. Them guys are so interesting to me.
Wrong video, obviously. Oh, this is the tree that I'm pulling up.
Christoph 54.
I think
Okay,
this is the
Nay.
one. Yeah, this is the video right here. Look at this shit. See him across the creek there? There's two of them. And they go down that little water thing right there. And they do it a whole bunch of times.
Christoph 54. River Red. Christoph 54. Seifu Sie.
Freaking otters. What's the coolest thing you've ever seen in your creek, Nay? Alive or not alive? Otter's pretty fucking cool. I got this one on video.
Christoph 54.
Got them running
Excellent
across the street
illusions.
because they keep going back and forth. They keep going. I just hope a car doesn't hit them, you know, because they're so small, but they're so cute. And they don't look for cars. They just run across the road, man.
Big Merc 83. I'm trying, baby. I have 9 pop out left. All extension ladder work. Big Merc 83. Oops.
That's funny. Oops. God, I couldn't hold the video steady. So that's terrible. My hands were all shaking. Looks like I was in an earthquake. I've stabilized that video. I wonder if it's got this stabilization. No.
Cannabis heals. Damn, you have a zoo up in there. Cannabis heals. Just no cages.
Play speed. Oh, I could edit the speed of a video right here, huh? I didn't know that. That's
Big
cool.
Merc 83. It's the Garden of Nay.
That's cool, man. Video saved. Otters be chilling. And then I pulled this tree up that fell over in my front yard, but I was hoping my yard guys will put a piece of wood underneath it to stake it up for me. That I could get my truck out of there. I should probably walk out there. But I'll show you this video. And you can see this bottlebrush tree. It's completely fallen over in the hurricane. So I've attached a winch to it, and I'm going to try to pull it up right now. Ooh. This should be fun and exciting. Sorry. Here we go. Here goes nothing.
Dave C. Fishing. Trendy one.
I pulled that thing up way too high. That's probably where it should be, right there.
Christoph 54. Yes.
I need to put it back down on a board, on a log.
Christoph 54. Cheers.
I'm gonna go out there and address that issue.
Dave C. Fishing. Wow, you fixed it good.
Well, no.
Dave C. Fishing.
I didn't fix it. I got to go
Tree
out there
training.
and see if they put a log underneath it, and then I got to release it because it's out there right now. So I got to go. You guys, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys had fun. Let's focus. Let's focus. Let's stay focused. I love you guys. I hope you had fun for the hour, and I will see you on the next show. Thank you to Iceman for being live with me on the show today. I'll see you guys later.
Dave C. Fishing.
Take care, guys.
Oh, okay. Good luck.
Thanks.